going to show you how I prep my turkey for Thanksgiving. The first step we have to do is to make the brine/marinade. You can let it sit for a minimum of 24 hours or a few days if you got the time. So to make the brine, I am going to peel and crush some garlic cloves. You do not need to be precise on chopping the garlic and herbs, as long as those aromas are released and the flavor will be there. I peel and chop 2 heads of garlic. Next, I'll be roughly chopping some rosemary. Once again, it does not have to be 100% mixed. The same goes for my next herb. Here I am roughly chopping some parsley. After you're done chopping whatever herbs you want, make sure you place it in a container that will be to store your turkey in. I have a 17-pound turkey, so I need a big container. Next, in the container, I am pouring in my liquids. I need to hand measure so I can put in the appropriate brine mixture. There were a total of 16 cups liquid, so I need 2 cups of brine mixture. The liquids that I use are orange juice, apple cider, white wine, and lemon juice. I pour in my brine mixture and mix it all up and set it aside. The next step is prepping the turkey. Off camera, I took out the giblets and gave it a little rinse. I was trying to avoid the turkey juices going over my counter. Then I did a process called spatchcocking, so the turkey can cook evenly in the oven. The process involves me cutting out the spine and cracking the ribs so it lays flat. Turns out the turkey is so big that even using my whole entire body weight was not able to crack it. I decided to just cut down the sternum so the breast meat can separate. I also split open the skin from the meat so I can shove butter in there, then place in the container. In the morning, I am taking out the turkey, rubbing my herb butter everywhere, then do my first series of injections with my brine mixture. I will be injecting it every hour on the hour for 4 to 5 hours. Once 4 hours hit, I will be checking the internal temperature every 30 minutes or so until it reaches 165 degrees. Once the turkey is completely done, I will be taking it out and letting it sit. The next thing I gotta make for Thanksgiving is pumpkin pie. Now I am going to make everything from scratch, so step 1 is the pie crust. I am using a 3-to-1 ratio for the pie crust. If you know this ratio by heart, you do not need a recipe for the crust. The ratio is as followed: 3 parts flour to 2 parts butter or any kind of fat to 1 part water. So I did 300 grams of flour, 200 grams of butter, and 100 grams of cold water. I would like to keep the butter as cold as possible so it can get the crust be nice and flaky. I first blended the butter into the flour till the flour looks somewhat mealy. Then I slowly add in the water to make sure the dough is not too dry or not too moist. Then I wrap it up and let it rest in the refrigerator for an hour. After an hour, I started to work on the pie filling. In a bowl goes 3/4 cup sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon ginger and nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon cloves, and 2 large eggs, 1 can of pumpkin, and 1 can of evaporated milk. Then I gave that mixture a nice mix. Then I rolled out the dough so it was larger than the pie tin. Then I rolled that dough onto a rolling pin and carefully placed it on top of the tin pan. I then trimmed in the excess and pinched the sides. And I put the aluminum foil on the edges so the crust doesn't burn too quickly. And once that's in the oven, I carefully poured in the pie filling so it doesn't make too big of a mess. Towards the end of baking, I remove the aluminum and let it continue the baking process until it is brown on the edges and the center is slightly jiggly. It will set up when cooling. Now we just gotta let this cool and it will be all set for the eatings.